Warm to Wealth, a comprehensive analysis of consumer responses in marketing and pricing. My name is Vanshika Sahu, and my mentor's name is Eli. I chose to research consumer psychology and consumer behaviors because I wanted to make the process of developing effective marketing and pricing strategies easier for my future self and other entrepreneurs alike. I'm presenting from Folsom, California. What is the goal of my review paper? There are many types of consumer behaviors found in different industries, ranging from consumers who signal their wealth through luxury items to consumers who find themselves drawn to nostalgic scents. The purpose of my review paper is to analyze and understand these behaviors so that it's easier for businesses to create profitable marketing and pricing strategies that positively influence sales and even help build long-term loyalties and trust within their consumer bases. Structure. The paper analyzes 4 different types of behaviors. First, I begin with sensory advertising, and we'll talk about marketing strategies here. Then we'll move on to the 3 E's, ease, endorsement, and endowment, and they are the foundations for policies and defaults. Then we'll move on to marketing again, and then we'll go into status signaling through wealth, and we'll wrap up with a conclusion. So to help you guys follow along, we'll use Cards for Charity or Company A, an example company. It's a small business in the luxury industry that sells custom handmade cards and donates most, if not all, of its proceeds to charity. The temperature premium effect. A person A meets a person B for the first time in a room. If the room is warm, A will perceive B as warmer with a kinder and more loving personality. However, if the room is cold, person A will perceive person B as cooler with a more distant and unfriendly personality. This is known as the temperature premium effect. Sensory advertising is simply using the 5 senses to increase a product's appeal. Leveraging the senses. Most every person is familiar with the 5 senses: smell, taste, sight, touch, and hearing. By appealing to and understanding these senses, enterprises can develop advertisements that appeal to their customers. In digital advertisements, Cards for Charity can use auditory appeals, like memorable music that evoke feelings of nostalgia from their elderly audience. In a gustatory example, when customers come to the Cards for Charity shop and they sit down to design their card, they're offered sophisticated yet simple snacks that reinforce the brand's luxury image, like gourmet cookies or chocolate-covered strawberries. Appealing to the 3 E's. The 3 E's, endorsement, ease, and endowment. What exactly are the 3 E's? They're actions taken to gently nudge a consumer's decision towards a certain direction. They're the foundations that create defaults and policies. There are 3 types of defaults. The opt-in policy. It's where everyone is automatically defaulted to not being part of a policy, and users need to consent or take action towards being included. For example, consumers would have to actively subscribe to the Cards for Charity website in order to receive emails and newsletters. The opt-out policy is when those same consumers would have to unsubscribe from the website in order to stop receiving emails and newsletters. Lastly, a no default policy is where no policy is set in place. For example, it's your first time opening the Cards for Charity website, and you have the choice to either subscribe or not subscribe. We won't be going into much detail for the no default policy in this presentation. Now to the 3 E's. Ease. Ease is when a customer chooses the easiest option for themselves. For example, if an individual has a Facebook account and wants to close it, the process to close the account is far too lengthy, as they won't be able to use the Facebook login for other connected apps that they signed up for, like their Spotify or Pinterest. And they would have to contact Spotify and Pinterest to recover those accounts. Additionally, it takes 30 days for the account to be permanently deleted. Instead of going through this whole process, individuals may decide to keep their account, but just use it less. This in turn gives Facebook the chance to win back their unhappy customer by sending them messages like, your friends just posted a new picture, check it out now. Endorsement. Endorsements are defaults that are seen as conveying what the choice architect thinks the decision maker should do. For example, when a social media platform like Snapchat has the location sharing setting automatically on, users who trust Snapchat are more likely to keep that location data on. However, if the user doesn't trust Snapchat, they're more likely to turn the location sharing setting off. Celebrity endorsements can be used as an effective strategy to increase sales. By building eligibility and therefore building ethos through the endorsements by popular authority figures, the default efficacy increases. Endowment. Arguably the most powerful of the 3 E's is when a default represents a status quo or the current state of affairs. For example, in some countries, the opt-out setting is being an organ donor on a driver's ID. If this default suddenly changes to a no default policy, individuals who have already known of the status quo for a while may feel more endowed with the idea of choosing to be an organ donor. So what? Tips. Custom says to tip 15 to 20% at a dine-in restaurant in the United States. A dine-in restaurant could automatically set their digital tipping option to 18 or 19%. Mental accounting. What is mental accounting? Everybody has a mental account, and it's made up of 3 key features. These accounts relate the consequences of possible choices to a reference level that is determined by the context within which a decision arises. In other words, a mental account is when a person adds or subtracts numbers from a reference number in their mind. Sunk costs and mental accounting. Sunk costs are very important, and they are costs that have already been incurred and cannot be recovered. A purchase is more likely to happen if it's not assigned to an account with a relatively recent prior sunk cost. Leveraging mental accounting and pricing strategies. Businesses can leverage the mental accounting of sunk costs to influence consumer behavior and pricing strategies. Some strategies include bundling, subscription pricing, and limited time offers. More on pricing strategies. Price skimming, premium pricing, psychological pricing, penetration pricing, competitive pricing are all different types of pricing strategies that companies can use. When developing or using a particular pricing strategy for your company, it is very important to have completed expensive research on your customer base and have a very good specific idea of what your brand is exactly and what you want to pitch it as. Cars for Charity tries to market itself as a luxury card brand, so they would ideally focus on premium pricing strategies. Lastly, status signaling through wealth. There are 4 types of consumers in the luxury industry. The parvenu, who is at the top of the socioeconomic hierarchy, making money that most people don't ever even get to see in their lifetime. They like to associate themselves with other parvenus by buying extremely expensive but simple looking luxury items that only other parvenus can and do recognize. Patricians, they're second from the top on the socioeconomic ladder. They have wealth and they like conspicuous, flashy, loud designs, and they do purchase luxury items, but usually on rare or special occasions. Posers, they're third on the socioeconomic ladder, and they have a heavy desire to dissociate themselves from the proletarians, people who have less wealth than them. They cannot afford to buy luxury goods, and therefore they're prone to buying counterfeit goods. Proletarians are at the bottom of the ladder, and they don't have the financial liberty to care about status signaling through wealth because they have tighter funds that they need to manage wisely in order to survive in their day-to-day life. Conclusion. Now, using the new consumer behaviors that were discussed in the presentation, companies like Cars for Charities can understand their target market better and more and have a clear path to developing different pricing and marketing strategies for their companies. These are some guiding questions for the future. And yeah.
Thank you so much. So we do have some questions. The first question, do any of the marketing and pricing strategies overlap?
There is a lot of overlap between pricing and marketing strategies, like premium pricing, where you set up special prices for your goods and keep those prices consistent throughout. Their premium pricing overlaps with luxury marketing and how luxury brands like Cars for Charity want to pitch themselves towards their market.
Thank you. And then one last question. Is there any marketing or pricing strategy that you learned about that you feel is unethical?
I think that for Facebook, when they make the process to unsubscribe from their account or from their service very difficult, I feel like that's unethical because that choice is not necessarily the consumer's choice, it's more of the corporation's choice. They're like forcing their customers into staying with them. So I feel like that's unethical.